Yo, what is happening, everybody? I hope your day is going well. I hope your evening is going well. Hope you're staying healthy and happy. Welcome to episode 2 of this wrestling podcast that we're doing. The name is still it's pending collaboration. Leave your suggestions in the comments. But we are here to preview the show of shows, the showcase of the immortals, granddaddy of them all. That's a Vince McMahon thing if I ever heard one. We here to talk about WrestleMania, and it should be a good show. But before we do that, and before we get into the show proper, let me introduce my great co-host. First up, my main man from Detroit, the one and only Trail Harris. What is happening, Trail? How you doing?
What's the deal? What's the deal, man?
And of course, my regular co-host for historical voices from the East Side, originally from New Orleans, but now he's up there in West Michigan, which had to have been cultural shock when you first moved there from New Orleans to West Michigan.
Oh
That's a
yeah.
jarring move. But
Oh hell yeah.
it's my man, History Williams. History, what's happening? What's going on? Give us a round of applause.
Oh man, yeah, of course.
There you go. How you been, History? I know the family has been going through some stuff, so I hope
Oh,
and wish them all well. But yeah,
oh yeah.
how you been besides that?
I'm the only one that's negative in the house, dog. And I mean that in not in an emotional or mental personality way at all. I'm the only one negative in the house. So I survived my personal own Royal Rumble. I am the only one that's not been eliminated from the ring. So with that, it's been good, bro. It's been a battle, but everybody's doing good. So we all get to go outside and hang out tomorrow. So
Hey, well, that's good. That's always
definitely.
good to
It's
hear,
good to hear.
and I am again happy for you. Happy that you and the wife, the daughter, and of course your son, they're all doing well. So hey,
Yes.
that's all good. So we're gonna kick things off before we lead the way into the WrestleMania preview. I wanted to give a little sample, a little taste of what I experienced from a wrestling perspective. Um, Recently I've been to two wrestling shows. AEW Dynamite back at the tail end of February, a couple of weeks before the Revolution pay-per-view. And this past Monday night, I went to see Monday Night Raw live at the Footprint Center here in Phoenix, Arizona. Had a good time at both shows. Just wanted to give some quick kind of contrasts and comparisons. Like from an audience perspective, one, both audiences were hot for pretty much the whole night. Well, with the exception of two dead spots, notable dead spots on both shows. Um, at AEW, it was this weird ass tag team battle royal, and at Raw's show, it was this tag team match that had, I think it was Candice LeRae and Mia Yim against Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. And when I tell you, you could hear a mouse fart and cotton in that arena during that match, it was deafening how silent it was. But everything was cool throughout the rest of the night. Mostly younger people, like the 20s to late teens, 20s for AEW show. Mostly families for the WWE show. And with people being over, I know y'all got some issues with them, but I've seen it live. I heard it live. That man Cody Rhodes is severely over. Like he is over like a motherfucker. Like it was deafening when that dude came out. Second most overact that I saw between both shows were the acclaimed. Probably favorite like non-Uso, non New Day tag team in wrestling. And the third act was our favorite, a favorite of the show, and I think we should adopt him as the official podcast favorite, Dominic Mysterio. That man, that man is a
No.
heat magnet. Like I swear to God, before Monday, unquestionably, the biggest reaction that I got for a segment that I've seen live was the Mark Henry fake retirement back in 2013. I was there live in that arena. Best moment that I've seen live. And I saw Bray Wyatt win the WWE Championship, and I seen a Royal Rumble live. Still, none top Mark Henry. Number two is not Dominic Mysterio getting that much heat. My ears were ringing all day yesterday from how much he was getting that fucking heat. It was amazing. Ray got that big pop, of course. Seth Rollins. If you saw Raw Monday, it was big. Both shows are really good. It's fascinating who people think are over and they do nothing for you in real life. Shout out to Wheeler Yuta, who is whew, if you watch AEW and you think Wheeler Yuta is somebody, you are incorrect. But overall, Monday Night Raw was good. It was a go home show for WrestleMania and had a good time. If you got to go to live wrestling, go ahead and take your family. Go with the kids. You'll have a good time. But let's get to WrestleMania because we've got some things to discuss. Before we get this weekend's show for night one and night two, I want to ask y'all a couple of questions. So we're going to start things off with Trail.
Yo,
We have lit like I imagine you kind of got into wrestling around the same time that I did, late 90s attitude era type deal, maybe a little bit
for
earlier.
sure, for
But
sure.
I got to ask you, and this is basically for both of y'all, what has been in your lifetime as a fan your favorite WrestleMania? Whether the show gets remembered for being good or bad, what's been your personal favorite WrestleMania, and give us a couple of reasons why.
Oh, this is quite easy. It'll be WrestleMania 17
Damn.
That's a
from
good one.
top to
That
bottom.
is a good one.
Oh
I,
yeah, that's a
I
good
even
one.
say wrestling in 2001 period was probably like one of my favorite years of wrestling because like literally I go back and watch those episodes of Raw and SmackDown, all the pay-per-views on the regular. Like
Hmm.
literally every feud or every match on that card was hot leading into WrestleMania. Like it like literally that was one of those moments where WWE struck gold because literally from top to bottom of the card, minus maybe one or two matches, everything was hitting. Every feud was on fire. Maybe it was just because wrestling was hot at that point as well. Maybe, but literally watching back like that WrestleMania was phenomenal top to bottom. Rock and Austin main event. Of course, you got Austin shaking Vince McMahon, some shit that nobody expected to see at that time.
Why?
So that
Why?
was
Somebody tell me why.
like nobody expected that. Then you got the TLC. Remember, they still show replays, and even though like only one person is still in the WWE from that match, so like that WrestleMania for me definitely top one. Even like the promo package for Rock and Austin for that main event, I still get goosebumps watching that promo package. And I
Mm,
think it's probably like the best promo package literally ever put together. I haven't nothing I've seen that they've done since then that gave me that oh my god feel. Like I literally know what happens and I still watch that like oh my god I wonder what's gonna happen.
you think
So
you're special? I'm gonna give you that. I think WrestleMania 17. That's a bomb one. That's a great choice. This is how over pro wrestling was in heading into that show. Linda McMahon may have gotten the third biggest pop of that night behind the Rock, behind Stone Cold and The Rock. That's how when everybody was eating, everybody was doing good, and Linda McMahon, the fourth best McMahon, was getting a big pop. So yeah, WrestleMania 17, I
yeah, that
can't
one.
knock that choice. History, what about you, my brother? What's been in your lifetime as a fan, aside WrestleMania 17? What's been your favorite WrestleMania?
So I'm gonna say my favorite one is 2000, WrestleMania 2000.
Well, oh shit. Okay, I've got
Wrestle,
thoughts, but go right ahead, brother.
there's
So
only
do I.
reason why. The only reason why is because of the fact that like we cannot. There was a conversation that was brought up on Instagram and Twitter, and it was about like who impacted like the culture more, and one of the images was of Allen Iverson, and like when I talk about the Hardy Boys made fucking punk rock and like being a fucking head rocker a little bit cooler than what than it needed to be, And Edge and Christian had like this ability to make fucking vampires look cool with Gangrel. And obviously you had Chris Benoit versus Kurt Angle, Chris
And
Jericho.
Chris
It was just
Jericho.
Yeah, it was a
And
wild
that
ass
was
fucking
fire. No lie.
yeah. They had like, and then you gotta think about it like this. There was a fatal four way match. I'm looking at the result card right here, right now, because I was trying to
History,
make
my
sure.
brother. I'm
Yeah.
a I'm I don't want to start no arguing with you, but I
Oh, here you
vehemently
go.
disagree.
Here you go.
No, it's not even that. This is the first WrestleMania that I ever like. My mama ordered this,
Yeah.
like ordered this. Full stop. It was
Yeah.
WrestleMania 2000. I was excited. I was happy. And let me tell you something. There are two things that you mentioned the two things that were memorable on that show.
Hmm.
I literally don't remember anything else. I fell asleep at some point during that show. I fell asleep and woke up for a minute for the Chris Benoit Kurt Angle triple threat with Chris Jericho, then was out. And it wasn't until years later that I fully saw that show. And whew, okay, good. Keep going, brother.
I'm
Didn't mean
just gonna
that.
say
Sorry.
no, it's okay. It's just that was just a memorable one. It had a lot of the fucking people that I fucking like
Yeah,
thoroughly love. Like that one was my WrestleMania. Now, granted, if you want to talk about like, oh man, which one kind of like definitely got me onto the drug of wrestling, it has to be a WrestleMania where it's like Scott, not Scott Hall, but Razor Ramon was going against Shawn Michaels in the fucking ladder match. That shit was
WrestleMania
wild.
10. That was dope.
Yeah, that put me on so hard. But by far, I know that y'all talked about pops. I just feel like there has been no pop as good as The Rock versus Hulk Hogan, and I want to say that's WrestleMania 18, right?
Yep,
It
you're
was,
right.
and so there has been no pop like Hulk Hogan telling like NWO, no, I got this. You know, like, going against fucking The Rock. That just felt like a different thing. But by far, my favorite moment, hands down, has to be 2000. I got the game WrestleMania 2000 because of it. Like it definitely just was like hook, line, and sinker for me. Was
Have you
WrestleMania
watched
2000.
it recently?
No, I have not. I'm
Here's the
really bad
thing.
about sporting events and watching them back over again.
My problem with WrestleMania 2000 is the main event, the McMahon in every corner.
Yeah.
That got to be the most. Here's the thing. It should
It
have just
had
been
potential
The
though.
Rock versus Triple H. Simple, simple shit. Rock, best heel you got, the best face you got since Stone Cold hurt. Triple H, your main bad guy heel. The month before, Triple H retired Mick Foley, retired the Rock's tag team partner.
Correct.
That like you had it right there, and then it was just like, nah, let's add more. Let's add more to this potentially great main event because the next fucking month, Backlash, they did the Rock and Triple H, and lo and behold, it was a great match. It's one of the best matches. It's a match that I go back to frequently, and it's just like, nah, we gotta have that Linda McMahon on here. Gotta have Linda, and I love Rock Austin at WrestleMania 17. The weird thing is that if you've ever gone back and watched that My Way promo, the Deborah interlude throws me off every time because it's just like, oh yeah, for some fucking reason, Vince McMahon was just like, you know what, Rock and Austin, nah, that story ain't big enough. You know what we need? Stone Cold wife. We need some titties in this segment. Before we go further, I want to shout out my man Andrew Elder. He is in the comments. I hope you're having a great night, Andrew. For me,
Oh
if
yeah.
there's a WrestleMania that I recommend the most for like this shit is top to bottom solid, I say WrestleMania 19. Like in
Oh
fact,
yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
the WrestleManias from 17 to 24, that is the best streak of like legitimately good to great WrestleManias that period. You got 17, Rock, like probably the best of all time. 18, you got Rock Hogan. 19, just top to bottom bangers. You got like literally every match on 19, with the exception of some weird ass Pepsi mountain, some type of fucking pillow fight with some commercial bitches. Banger.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 20, we don't talk about that main event no more. Cause that
He
man
who
did that
shall
thing.
not be named.
That man did that thing to his wife and his son, and we can't advocate him. 21 was dope. 22 was underrated. 23, that shit was in Detroit, so I gotta represent for that one, and it was actually solid. Like that period, that 7 year
Mhm.
period was dope as hell. So if
I'm
we so history, what was you about to say?
I'm gonna actually I'm not even gonna pivot too hard because like we talked about like WrestleMania. I'm gonna ask you one big question: is do you feel like WrestleMania is the most important pay per view usually when you walk away after watching it?
Hmm.
Do you feel like it was the most important pay per view out of the whole year? So let me clarify. We start off with Raw, the Raw after with WrestleMania, right? And then we go all the way through WrestleMania. Do you feel like that was the most important pay per view from that first Raw after that Raw WrestleMania of like so like today is 2023 Raw 2023 all the way to fucking WrestleMania 2024. Do you feel like usually those are the most important
Mm.
ones? Because I don't usually feel like those are the most important shows. I feel like
Yeah, I say
SummerSlam is usually that.
I say it depend on the year because sometimes it was like okay that changed the shape of wrestling for the next couple years, but then it was
Hmm.
sometimes like nah that I guess it could go by the moment. I mean I don't know. That's a great question, but it's like
I
it
think you're
really
right though.
depends on the year because it's like
Yeah,
'cause some years it was like whatever that big moment is, whether it come in WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, wherever that big moment is, that's where it's like feel like it was most important. So they try
Uh,
to do it at WrestleMania, but sometimes they catch lightning and it happen at a backlash or something. So
true.
Fair enough.
I
yeah,
think
that's it depend on the
Trail
year.
had it. Trail had it right. It's dependent on the year. Like if you go back to 1998, the Raw after WrestleMania 14, on that night, Stone Cold got presented the Big Eagle WWE Championship belt, the Attitude Era belt, the big circle one, the
Yeah.
belt from my childhood. That got presented to him that night. The Rock
The
became the
policeman
official
belt.
leader. The Rock became the official leader of the Nation of Domination.
Correct.
Triple H became the official leader of DX and added X Pac and the New Age Outlaws to that group. And so you had basically your three pillars of WWE for the Attitude Era, all of them kind of leveled up on that night, and it set the stage for the next year and then the next year and beyond. And so it's just like that's very important. Then you got in 2019, the night after WrestleMania 35, where nothing of importance happened. Like Kofi Kingston had won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, and Seth Rollins was Universal Champion, and it was a nice feel good moment. Ain't shit really happened. And that was basically the year WWE kind of went off the rails, and they kind of panicked when AEW came about. But like it depends on the year. Like Trail is right. It's really sometimey when it's the year. Like some
Yeah.
years are more important than others, and some years add more than others.
Yeah, I that's why I just was asking because one of the toughest things that I usually have is I get excited about WrestleMania, but I guess my biggest kind of gripe right now is the fact that we have a 2 day WrestleMania, and I know we're gonna get to talk about that card, but sometimes it just feels like WrestleMania is like Raw. Like Raw is 3 hours long. Does Raw need 3 hours? And
I
so that's what it
mean,
feels like
nobody
sometimes
said
with
that. Nobody
it
on
used to be a
nobody's
brought. It used to
saying.
be brought up, especially
Here's the
when
thing.
Shane McMahon was doing Raw Underground and shit like that.
Nobody's saying is just like, you know what? I love that Raw is 3 hours. Nobody's saying like it
Nobody's.
used to be Raw would have like they'd do like a 3 hour Raw every once in a while, and it would be I'll call that later. It'd be like, they do something special, like they do the Raw Homecoming was one that I remember, or they did one. It was one year when that man that did that thing that we can't talk about, him and Triple H, it was like a commercial free Iron Man match that they had. Like they used to do them up special, but now that they every fucking week, nah. And Raw can be like that, especially in these sad last year's events where Mania would just be a show and it would be long as shit for no fucking like WrestleMania 35 is like peak. Oh, this shit's too fucking long. Like nah,
Yeah,
we can't be out here 8 hours. That is a shift at work. That is a shift
Yeah,
at your job. So nah, it,
Yeah,
it's it really does depend on the year. I think this year, because of the change up top in creative, fingers crossed that that old Triple H keeps the book. It feels like this is going to be important because it feels like we're going to get a lot of major shifts. Like we'll get to our predictions in a moment, but I think this year we're going to get some. It's going to be a lot of changes that happen, and I'm looking forward to that. But keeping on this nostalgia WrestleMania train before we get
go for
to the actual card of the show, I want y'all to give me your favorite or what you feel is personally the best WrestleMania match of all time and one that you feel is just complete ass. The most boring WrestleMania main event. I'm gonna go main event. Let's keep it simple.
Mm,
Main event that you've had the displeasure of seeing during your lifetime as a fan.
my
We'll
answer
start
might
off
be
with
shock.
Trail.
I'll say my answer for like least favorite match is gonna be a little bit shocking, and it's actually John Cena and Shawn Michaels here.
Ooh,
Ooh.
For
yes.
some reason, I just like I couldn't buy into it. Like I didn't believe
Mm-mm.
Shawn as a number one contender, even though he was Mr. WrestleMania. I knew John Cena was gonna walk all over him. I was more invested in Batista and Undertaker that year.
That should have been the main event.
Yeah, so it was like with that main event, I could care less about. As far as like maybe favorite main events, Rock Austin 17, of course.
Hmm.
Shit, what was some other? Taker Shawn Michaels retirement year.
Okay, that's a dope one.
Um,
Taker and Shawn Michaels definitely was a fucking emotional roller coaster.
yeah,
It felt like something throughout the whole time, and it feels like Shawn Michaels should have never wrestled another damn match ever in his life after that match. Because I just feel
But
facts.
like
money.
you could never ever come back legacy wise from how good that fucking match was.
I
That's
mean,
like,
That's
Ric
literally
Flair.
one of
Ric
those
Flair was
leave
just
it
like,
all on the
hey,
table.
Ric Flair did the same shit. Ric
yeah,
Flair got the perfect send off, and he was just like, yeah,
yeah, I'm
but
gonna
I don't
come
want
on.
to. I and this nigga still want to. Dog, he
I'm
is gonna end up.
convinced Rick is gonna drop in the ring, and
He want to.
I
He
don't
gonna
want to say
try.
that, but
He gonna try, and then his family they basically just like, yeah, I mean, we can't stop him. He grown, but it's just like,
Yeah,
hey, we ain't gotta accept that shit. But I don't
they're
even
gonna have to
fuck with
declare
Shawn
him
Michaels
like
like that.
clinically insane or something. Cause like there's
yeah.
no reason
Something,
you.
or responsible people are gonna be like, yeah, we're not doing that. Like that's the only other solution is just, no, we're not doing that. Like Rick,
Or
you'll end
people
up
just
dying.
stop booking them.
That's the only way. It's like, but back to Shawn Michaels. One, he came back. Money, money is money is beautiful. Like
Yeah, he keeps
it
divorcing
helps.
everybody too. And
Like no, Shawn Michaels, not Rick. Like I'm talking about Shawn Michaels when he came back, Saudi Arabia, that tag team match. It was DX versus the Brothers of Destruction. Money, like money. But
That would have been a
if
great
we're
match
going with
10 years before it happened.
like it doesn't really like he didn't he said he regrets it. So if I'm going with my personal least favorite, oh damn, there are a lot of options. And
hmm,
I'm feeling there are a lot of Triple H matches. There are a couple of Triple H matches that are just like dog. Triple H, here's the thing. I like Triple H, but this motherfucker has a habit of at WrestleMania, he always got to do these long, grandiose ass anime type entrances. Then his match always got to go 25 minutes to a half a damn hour for no fucking reason. And so it's just like, it's every damn year. It's just like, bro, why are you doing this? And so if I'm doing worse, it's that one he had with Randy Orton at 25,
oof.
and that one he had with our tribal chief Roman Reigns at 32, which is just boring as shit. So
Oh
those
no,
are
man.
my nigga. Like I
I I think I could beat you, dog. I think I got both of y'all on what's the worst fucking matches.
go right ahead. I mean, let me go
Y'all,
old school with one. Hulk Hogan and that bullshit he did at WrestleMania 9 with the Yokozuna Bret Hart finish, that bullshit is terrible. But sweet
I
Jesus,
never
it was
Uh,
even
short.
seen that, so
y'all forgetting when Big Show was a sumo wrestler?
that wasn't the main event.
Not a main
that,
event. Like
that was
not a main
oh, you
event.
talking about main
We
events?
want to get
All
the
right, all right. I thought I'm my bad.
we keeping
Let me
it to
clarify
main
the question.
events. I want to keep it to main events
I'm
and
about
keep
to
it
say
simple because
seriously, if we
there
talk
have been
about
some terrible
fucking, we talk
WrestleMania
about.
matches.
I'm about to say if we talk about terrible WrestleMania experiences, we got to talk about Big Show. Big Show, for such a name, I think it's just such a fucking
Well,
yeah.
Big Show, I
His
feel he made a lot of money. Like I don't think he should regret going to WWE because he made
so much
all of
money.
the money, and it's basically allowed him to. I don't have to do shit in AEW of note, but Lord have mercy. Like
Yeah,
even going back to WCW when he was the Giant after 1997, that everything went downhill for him. If you ever peruse WCW 1998, you'll see, oh, they got started early with making him look like shit. This nigga would start smoking while he was on his way to the ring. It was weird. It's fucking weird. But let's go to
um,
actual history. You had one more thought?
you know what? Fuck, you kind of brought up my other one. I'm just gonna say Roman Reigns versus Triple H. That would be have to be my fucking one. Because
Yeah.
when I think about all the rest of them, I felt like I got some substance out of it. I just didn't get nothing out of Triple H versus Roman Reigns. I felt like that was a match that just did not need to exist, did not need to be a point. If we wanted to argue about a match that could have been considered a main event, other than that, I would say fucking Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker. I felt like that match was, and it's not me trying to be petty. It's just the fact that there was no substance to that match. There was no point of that match. There was no stakes to that match at all, other than the fact that the streak was being broken, and nobody benefited from it, other than the concept that like if you wanted to say that you made Brock Lesnar this unbeatable beast, but you already had that reputation already. But I guess you already picked my Shawn Michaels one versus Undertaker. I think any Undertaker match is really amazing.
No, it's
That
not.
but
WrestleMania 13 versus Sid.
oh yeah, there you go. Okay, there you go.
WrestleMania
I forgot
WrestleMania
about that.
15
Damn, that's how bad that was.
WrestleMania
Yeah,
15 versus Big Boss Man. WrestleMania 33 versus Roman
I
Reigns.
like the Big
WrestleMania
Boss Man
32.
match, even though it was
That
bad. I
shit
think it was
was
bad.
ass. That
I
shit
think it was
was
bad
ass.
I think it was bad in a quirky ass fucking way.
Mm-mm. That whole
Uh,
WrestleMania is weird as shit. Roman Reigns versus Undertaker is also that one.
that was
That ain't on either of them. Undertaker, he should have retired,
Yeah, he
and
shouldn't have
yeah,
been in there. That should match shouldn't have happened.
Roman Reigns was not in a position to carry anybody at that point, and so it's just
yeah.
like, But
Yeah, but
let's get into
I would say that
this
would
year's
be
show.
a match.
Let's
Yeah,
get into WrestleMania 39. WrestleMania goes Hollywood, but it really takes place in Inglewood because Inglewood up to no good. Whew, this
oof.
is so. Before we get into the card itself, how do y'all feel the build up to this year's WrestleMania has been overall? Not match specific. We'll get to that in a second. How do y'all feel the build up has been overall for this year's WrestleMania?
I feel like the build up is leading. Feel like the
So
build up hasn't been that great. So
thank you.
maybe the show itself is about to be a banger. Maybe that's one of those like we gonna let this slow roast like, but once it's done, it's like it's A1. But when it's cooking, you's like I don't know how it's really about to turn out. But I don't know because it's like besides maybe one or two feuds. I mean the card itself is a banger card, but it's
Yeah,
like the build up to it is like I'm just ready for Mania. How about that? I'd say, but like once the match card was official, felt like we could have skipped all that, and just got to Mania.
yeah. Well, we can't time travel yet. So, history.
Yeah.
What about you? How you feeling about the builds overall?
I'm looking back
Again,
over the.
not match specific.
No,
The
no, no,
build
no.
itself.
I'm not going to be like the match specific. I just feel like none of these felt like they were. You got pockets of like, okay, it makes sense, but you also got pockets of like, why we're doing this again. And so, like, my biggest enemy is surprisingly Edge versus
History.
Finn
We
Balor. But I'm
we
not
are
gonna
going
wait,
to
wait, wait,
get
wait, wait. Let me finish the story. So I do feel like in general, the whole thing was itself is not necessarily feel like it's worth my time. I didn't get excited about the WrestleMania itself because it got so many pockets of like shit that I'm just like trying to figure out like, am I really going to be invested in watching 6 hours for 2 days straight of fucking content? You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just pockets of shit that just kind of makes me feel like, nah, it's not worth it. So they didn't do a good job this year.
Yeah, I can understand that. I think there have been, especially like looking at this objectively, there have been some spots where like I've been like again, I'm excited because there's a lot of stuff I'm just really interested in match wise. But this week on Raw, excuse me, maybe that'll change on SmackDown. But we got no John Cena in building. We got no Austin Theory live in building. There was no Logan Paul. There was no Bianca Belair or Asuka. And Rhea Ripley, she just did a pre-tape. And that's a glaring the women's stuff is a glaring flaw with WrestleMania this year because the two title matches as well as that women's showcase all have been poorly built. And it highlights a problem that Triple H has had, which is the women, which is weird because NXT Triple H knew how to book women, knew how to get them over, knew how to do all of that. Worked with all four women who are in the two title matches, and basically all of the women who are in the showcase match. But it's though like that's the stuff that I'm like, man, those are dead spots in terms of story. Matches like Terrell been saying, matches I don't see a potential awful match on this card with the exception of the women's showcase. Like everything has some type of quality to where it's gonna be, oh, this could be really fun. But the build for this show, with the exception of stuff that's bloodline related and Rey Mysterio and Dominic related, everything else has had at best a B level build to it. And to me, it's disappointing, but also it is what it is. But again, once we get to the show, once we see the stage, once the pyro goes off, and for me, NXT building up to stand and deliver has been really good. And if you aren't watching NXT, I'd recommend checking out Stand and Deliver. It's going to be a good show. But anyway, let's start breaking down this card. There are 13 matches announced at this point. If something else comes up, we can talk about it day of. I'm doing a live stream on the Eastside Reviews YouTube channel, so make sure you check me out. I'm doing predictions this year, and I'm doing lock picks. For every lock pick that I get wrong across both nights of WrestleMania, as well as Stand and Deliver, for the regular picks, I will have to eat hot sauce, the hottest hot sauce from the Hot Ones show, The Last Dab. And if I get one of my golden locks wrong, the Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes one is one of the golden locks, and the other one is Braun Breaker versus Carmelo Hayes. I'm gonna have to do the Pocky One Chip Challenge. So it's gonna be a hot week next week. Anyway, first match that's
Lots of
been
milk, baby.
announced that is going to kick off the night.
Lots of leche, baby. Lots of leche.
Yeah, yeah. I'm hoping that I did smart with my picks. I'll let y'all know what my picks are along the way once y'all go, and I'll let y'all know what my locks are too. Half of the 13 matches, so six of the matches are regular locks, and then of course the golden lock is the main event. But let's kick things off with the U.S. title match: Austin Theory versus Juan Cena. So, whew, that Boston promo. Like it's one of them you want to see a dead body moments in wrestling. Like, damn, I think I might have just seen a murder on TV where John Cena read this man Austin Theory for filth. And the coup de grace was they don't have to pump in crowd noise when I'm on TV. And that I remember during our first show, Trail, you talked about Austin Theory and how he does nothing for you. Do you have any additional thoughts on the man Austin Theory and this program that he's had with John Cena?
No. No, not really. He's still boring as shit. He's trying. I give him that. He's trying. And he
Damn,
may have got me a little bit invested. Maybe. I mean, it's not even him. I say it's more John Cena.
damn,
but, but
damn.
I'm sorry.
The
You hit him
fuck,
with the
man?
black church. Oh, baby, you trying?
Oh
You hit
god.
him with that. Damn. All right,
The-
history.
Oh
What
man.
happens post WrestleMania if Austin Theory comes up on the losing end? Because the thing is that he's 25 years old, which means theoretically Austin Theory, they can fuck up his career. Like they can like thoroughly fuck him up. Like Drew McIntyre and 3MB fuck him up. Like Cody Rhodes as Stardust fuck him up. And he could go away for like 5 or 6 years and only be 31 and still have like another decade of wrestling left. So there's time to fuck him up and recover. But what
I
happens if he
actually think
loses? Like what happens if
crazy
he takes this L? Trail, go right
crazy
ahead.
enough, I think losing would actually be better for him. Cause
Mm,
it'll give him more depth. Like, oh, you just lost at WrestleMania. I would actually do like kind of cause like he got a unique look. I would have him like pretty much go insane. Like not necessarily like the Seth Rollins insane, but I mean like mentally lose it, where he
damn.
comes out and beats the shit out of people and just like in this fit of rage because he's lost everything.
Um, I feel
I
like
think
you
that'll
should.
work.
I think that I kind of had the same idea, but I think that we should go the same route that we did with Darren Young and Zeb Culture, where you had
Release him.
him was like when you said make fucking like Darren Young great again. I think we
That
should
wasn't
go
Zeb Coulter. That was him and that was Darren Young and Bob Backlund.
Bob Backett, yeah, Backlund, yeah. I'm sorry, but like this whole rebuild to this character, like I felt like it could work for a character like him, not necessarily it worked for Darren Young because obviously reasons, right? But I feel like if you did it where you had him go, I gotta rebuild this brand, rebuild this model for who um Austin Theory is, then that makes a big deal. I just can't sell myself on matches that I just obviously know who's going to be the winner when you got a part timer versus and a part timer who is a movie star at this point in time.
And
You can't
that's
it you already kind of know the result of this fucking match. But I do agree with Trail. If that'll be a fucking swerve, like a motherfucker, because we thinking that Theory is gonna this is a guaranteed W for Theory. But realistically, John Cena takes that win. That'll be
Mm,
a big fucking swerve.
how about this? John Cena wins, do his open challenge Monday night.
And fucking lose that bitch.
Bobby Lashley or no, not even Bobby Lashley. I would say
Yeah,
like a
Gable.
I
Gable.
do
Gable.
nah, I
What's his
would
name?
do I do a Gable Steveson is still training in developmental. He is not
I thought he said he
that
was coming.
dude.
They said he was gonna come back at the Raw.
No. That dude is still in development. You have not like he was only on that Raw. The last time he was on was Kurt Angle birthday, so he is still not
God
anywhere close. He
damn.
hasn't been on NXT at
yeah,
all.
and I think
His
he training
brother,
for the Olympics too.
yeah, his brother Damon Kemp, he's actually been in NXT.
Damn.
He been tearing it up too. So yeah, he ain't ready. I've got a different person, and I actually locked in Austin Theory to win on the predictions, but I think if you're gonna do your idea of do John Cena wins and then we do US Open Challenge, that'd be the perfect way to bring up or call up somebody either from NXT or reveal a new free agent signing.
Which happened
Like,
to him already, right? That happened before to John Cena, correct?
nah, it didn't.
When a call
No,
up came
it
up and
did.
beat
It happened with
when the call up came in.
Carlito
TKO.
way back in 2004.
Yeah, and
He
smoked
had the
fucking
US
John
title,
Cena. Yeah.
Carlito, and then John Cena got stabbed in the club, and it was a whole thing. But
Damn, that
yeah,
shit was
so
Yeah.
wild.
That
there
happened to
are
John Cena before.
like they're in Hollywood, so there are options for if you do like you can convince me to
Switchblade.
you can switch me. Like Jay White could be that guy. Like that'd be a hell of a statement to have Jay White come on and beat John Cena for the U.S. title
Matt Cardona.
immediately. Mid Cardona, okay.
You know what?
That
I
would be
really want him to come back so much. I
the
was
poetry.
actually on
Oh,
the fucking
He's
Zack Ryder,
fire.
aka Matt
I'm gonna give
Cardona
you guys
train.
that. That's
I
a
really
prediction. He's
want him
coming
back.
back post WrestleMania because his wife's already there,
There,
Chelsea Green.
yeah.
They're gonna
I
be
will.
the yeah, he's coming back. It's just post WrestleMania, but that would be kind of poetic if he came back and beat John Cena for the U.S. title. Because if you remember,
He took his girl.
Zack Ryder, his
he
career
took his
hit that John Cena brick
girl.
wall back in 2012.
He
So
took his
Golden
girl.
Shovel.
there are fascinating. There are actually legitimate options. Like,
And
oh,
then
John
that's
Cena.
a fresh feud for Austin Theory with Matt
True.
Cardona.
Ooh,
Do
and
you
they
give him a veteran, somebody that's been around the block?
But what
True.
makes it better is the fact that you got Austin Theory, who is this social media personality, and you can make Matt Cardona be a person that absolutely hates Austin Theory because it reminds him of what he was in the past. And that's a fun. Think about the promos that Matt could bring about that shit. I remember being the fucking guy who wore a belt with my head on it, and it absolutely means shit to nobody. You
It
know,
meant
being
something,
the
but
internet
then
champion.
WWE was just like, nah, you got over, bro. You got over on
Yeah,
your own. We can't be having that.
yeah, dog. Man said if
Yeah,
he comes back,
Zack
yeah,
Ryder is dead. He's
dead.
buried
Yes,
somewhere in his backyard. So
he
let's
beat
get
that
to the
man.
final
Yeah.
predictions from you guys. Trail, who do you have winning? Lock it in. Austin Theory, John Cena. Who's walking out of WrestleMania US champ?
Fuck it.
Ooh,
I'm going John Cena.
Ooh. History, what about you? What say you?
man, Trell is a good friend of the household now, man, because that man, me and him agree with a lot of shit sometimes.
That's actually an intriguing idea. So
So
history,
I'm
who you
going with
got
John Cena.
winning?
I'm going with John
Okay.
Cena too. I
For
know the obvious.
consistency,
Go ahead.
yeah, for consistency with the material I've already put out, I'm sticking with my lock pick of Austin Theory winning. That might be a hot wing because those options that y'all presented are actually pretty good and actually pretty interesting. What
Mhm.
was your last thought on this match history?
Oh no, I know that this should be a Captain Obvious moment, but I just feel like Triple H is such a smart booker. He's been doing such a good job, but you could definitely tell that he absolutely hates fucking Austin Theory. You could tell that he
Which
fucking.
I don't think he does. They
I
I
don't
think he
think
basically
he
hates it.
bought
do.
they
I think
bought
he
the
hates his
company
character.
basically to sign Austin Theory. Like he was featured heavily in NXT while Triple H was still running it. He's been like he's a project of Triple H. I'll put it like that. He one of them Randy Orton types. All right, I'm a
Cool.
tinker on you for a while.
I'm gonna
Again,
put it like
dude's
this.
25 years old and WWE. Too many of WWE's top level people are late 30s, 40s with racked up injuries. They kind of need people who are in their 20s who can kind of start moving things forward. And they are going to they're going to give Austin Theory every chance they possibly can
I,
before they decide, yeah,
I'm
we can't do shit with them.
I'm gonna use your theory against you. No pun intended. So you like superheroes. You probably like Batman, right?
Yeah,
Okay, got you. So you also that means that you also kind of have to like the Joker.
yeah. He got,
But if I say let's go with Suicide Joker being your main
I
Joker.
don't have to fucking
You
like Suicide Squad.
you
We're
so
moving
that's
on.
what I'm
Next match.
saying. Like
No, next match. You brought up the Suicide Squad. You brought up
but you see
Jared
my
Leto
point? You see
Joker.
my point?
He does not
Try, you
exist.
get my point, right?
I
You
get.
get my-
I definitely get what you're saying.
so that doesn't mean
No,
that he doesn't you mean you could like
you
somebody,
brought up
but then
Suicide
also
Squad Joker. We're moving on.
yeah,
Next
that's my
match.
point. You hate
Seth
fucking
Rollins
Joker.
versus
You hate
no,
DC.
I
You're
don't.
anti
I
comic
hate
books.
I hate Jared Leto's interpretation of the Joker. I
Yeah.
like the Joker character. He's not my
Mhm.
favorite
It
Batman
wasn't
villain.
that bad.
You kind
It
of
was
hate it.
terrible.
You hate it. It's terrible,
I
right? So
I
you
do
get
not like
you get my point
again.
about changing it though. Like he hates his
No,
character. It's
he
okay
hates
for you to
this version
hate,
of the character. He hates this version of a character.
but we
That
just
can always be changed.
but we
I
just talked
hate
about Matt
Jared Leto
Cardona. It's the
Joker.
same thing.
I
He
love
hates Zack Ryder. It doesn't mean that he
they're two
hates
different
wrestling. It's
characters. Mid Cardona and Zack Ryder, two different characters.
It's
Two
still
two
the
different
same dude, still playing two
same
different
dude,
characters.
two
He
different
had to
characters.
renege on one of them. You know what I mean? He had to change.
What you just said doesn't make any sense. I
How?
can hate versions of a character. I don't. That doesn't mean that I hate the character.
I'm just saying we can say this. Triple H can say the same thing about Austin Theory. He can look at Austin Theory and say like this gimmick does not work for you, bro. I
Yeah,
absolutely hate it.
that's why he
We're going to
changed it
change
from
it to
himself and
something
shit.
else
We're
and
moving
have a
on.
break.
I think
We are
Theory is
moving
going to be
on.
Baron Corbin in 1 year.
Oof, that's not a good predict. Well, Baron Corbin is still regularly employed by WWE and is a consistent character on TV. So
But he's not
there,
the same
there are
person.
worse.
He's not the
There
lone
are
wolf no
worse.
more.
He's changed his character. He has changed his
Yes,
character
that means that
multiple
he
times.
hated something about that character. He changed that
That wasn't
about it.
Triple H doing that though. That was
But you,
Vince who changed
I,
his character
I
45
think it's
times.
going to happen the same. Is the same thing is going to happen with Theory. Go ahead.
No, I
Next, let's.
say that in the sense that they gave up on Baron Corbin, like they're going to give up on Theory eventually.
Yeah.
All
Go,
right, next
let's
match:
move on.
Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. Logan Paul has there's actually a little bit of news. Logan Paul has actually come out and said his WWE contract ends at WrestleMania 39. So there's speculation as to whether or not he is still going to be around. Last year, it was announced that he signed a multi-year deal, and he would appear in events through 2023 and 2022. But said, yeah, his rookie year's up. So one, do y'all guys think that Logan Paul, that WWE should make a real effort to re-sign Logan Paul?
Yeah, I would. He an attraction. This is an entertainment show. He's entertaining. It's been proven. I mean, he
Yeah.
posts a clip, it get millions upon millions upon millions of views. He's an investment for sure, but I think it's a wise investment. Probably one of the best celebrity in ring people ever. So, because he actually took his time and probably, and he got the itch for it too. So I said, hell yeah, sign him, redo it,
Ah.
bring him back.
Yeah. What about you, History? You think re-sign Jake Paul's older brother?
Um, no. I feel like that's just too much. That's just too much. I get the purpose of it, but I feel like it's just too much. It took a lot for people to kind of get over Logan Paul. I just feel like if you having both the Paul brothers
Wait, wait,
being
wait. I
No,
oh
he's
didn't
sorry.
not
say
saying Jake sign Jake Paul. He's
you
saying
didn't listen to the
Oh,
re-sign
question. I
I
Logan
said,
Paul.
misunderstood the
should
question because
they
you said
re-sign Logan Paul?
okay,
Not
gotcha. That's
should
the way
they
that you
sign
the way
Jake
that you
Paul.
say the
I
question.
refer to him as Jake Paul's older brother because, as you remember, you called Logan Paul Jake Paul a while ago in our discussions. That's why I
Okay, gotcha.
referred to him as
I
He was
forget.
pretty
Logan
much
Paul's
being
brother.
an asshole, low key. So
Yes,
Yeah.
that basically was it.
Yeah. So yeah. So as far as that, I would say that Logan Paul, um, still morally, man. I would say that if I was just thinking about the money, hell yeah, resign that motherfucker for money. I think just morally, I just don't like the fact that the dude's history. No, so yeah, but he's such a fucking good wrestler, and WWE doesn't have good wrestlers. They really have mumble mouth for wrestlers right now, and I just don't understand how this business has made itself have that many fucking like mumble mouth rappers of wrestlers right now. So he's such a fucking attraction. He's such a good fucking wrestler, and it's a damn shame that he's such a good wrestler because of the fact of like the asterisks behind his legacy as a person himself. So yeah, I would. I
I
think it's gonna
mean,
happen. They're gonna resign him.
I
I
mean,
think
it's
he's
the
done a
wrestling
good
business.
job at like trying to reinvent and rebrand himself past like all the BS he done did and happened to him. So I
I
actually like
mean, his
Logan Paul
apology
and
is
There's
as good
so
as
many
R. Kelly
shitty
apologizing
people
about the
within
shit he did.
there's so many shitty people within the world of wrestling. Like Logan Paul, I honestly don't think rates in comparison to other shit people within the world of professional wrestling. I don't know. I'm thinking of your boy Kane out there with his wild ass views. Your boy Chris Jericho out there acting an asshole. You got, of course, the legacy of Jimmy Superfly Snooker. Might have got a body on his resume, but we don't.
Yeah, but that was
He
that
not
was
Like
Yeah, but we
so
don't talk
many
about Jimmy Snuka. We
shitty
don't really
people,
talk about Chris Benoit.
so
You know
many
what I
shitty
mean?
people are within the world of Jerry Lawler has several accusations of what's the most delicate way to put this? Playing Pokemon with underage girls. Let's just call it like let's just phrase it like that. So
Yeah.
he's prominently featured as a legend. There are so many shit people in wrestling. Logan Paul, I don't think he rates as an
I know, but
all-time
then
shitty
then we
person
can't
within
sit there
wrestling.
in the same stream and just say like, oh, this is a guy that we can't say their name when it comes to Chris
Chris
Benoit.
Benoit, no, Chris
But
Benoit killed
that
two
dude
people.
did something
Fuck all that.
bad. He was dealing with a dead body.
No history.
Logan
I will
Paul
not
took
allow
pictures
you.
of the dead
I'm not
bodies
going
though.
to allow you to
I'm
compare
not
Logan
saying that.
Paul
What
taking
I'm
pictures
saying
of
is
people
that
dead
we can't
to
sit
Chris Benoit killing his wife and killing his son.
and then
That
recording a dead body at a suicide for his dog. Come
not
on
even
now.
close to being not even close to being the
I
same
I
sin.
get
But
what we can't measure that though. We can't.
yeah, we
You
can.
can't.
One dude
You
killed two
cannot
people and the
measure
other one
that,
did not.
dog. You
Yes, you
cannot
can.
measure that. No, you can't. You can't. You are not going to say
Murder,
that when it comes to a
murders,
situation where
two
somebody
murders,
suicide on mental health awareness month. You're not going to say that.
two
You're
murders,
not
two
going to say
murders.
that.
Yes, I am. Two murders.
No,
Two
no,
murders.
but
Three
still,
people
that
in that
doesn't.
house
That's
died that weekend.
yeah,
Two of
but
them ain't
this
had
dude
no choice
recorded
about it.
somebody with his fucking
And yeah, that
the
dude murdered two
suicide instead of
people.
fucking helping. That's nah, man. That's not right. That's still not right, dog. Like no matter how you want to put it, that still don't
He still
that
ain't killed nobody.
math don't
That's
math
the
with that
main
one,
thing.
dog. Come on.
Math is mathing like a
No,
motherfucker
it
with
does
that one.
not. No, it
Chris
does
Benoit
not.
got killed two
So if
people, and
somebody
Logan
watch
Paul has
you,
killed
instead of if somebody watch one of your family members, just instead of stopping that situation happen,
Did they kill
intervening and
that
putting their
person?
fucking
Did they kill that person
that
though?
person committed suicide. But
Did
at the
they
same token, you
commit the
should
act of
not. You
murder?
mean to tell me that not to intervene, not to
Did they
intervene when
commit
that
the
comes
act
to
of
such.
murder?
I don't
Nah,
think he
dog.
was there when
Nah.
the person actually did
Nah,
it, did he?
man. Even
That
if that's the
thing.
case, when he watched it, when he recorded the body, they rather have recorded the body than actually do anything other than that. They were worried about fucking views. Then that's immoral, dog. No matter how you want to put it, that's immoral. And then get pissed.
Murder
Look at the
is
fact that
immoral. History.
it's
I'm not going.
immoral. It's
That
immoral.
this.
We're not.
That's like
I'm.
comparing an
I'm
orange
saying
to a
what I'm
fucking
saying is I think
can of
that you miss.
soda. That two completely different things.
No,
Two
it's
murders
immoral. It's immoral,
versus
dog.
recording a dead body. They ain't even the
If we
same.
can't mention
They not the same.
Chris Benoit name, then we can't mention Logan Paul's name.
Oh, we
That's the
can.
real fucking thing.
Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins. Who
Then
y'all
we can
thinking in
talk
this
about Chris
match?
Benoit
No, the fuck
beating a
we
lot
can't.
of asses
I'm not.
in
No,
WrestleMania.
we're not talking
and a
about
couple
this
of,
dude that
especially in your
killed his
WrestleMania
wife and his
18.
son.
All right, come
So
We're
let's
on,
not
go to the
talking
next
about this
match. Let's go
dude
to the next
who
match.
killed his
reel it
wife and
back
his son.
in,
Yeah,
reel
let's
it
go to
Logan
the
back
Paul
next
in.
versus
match.
Seth Rollins. What y'all think? Who winning?
I think they're going to try to hold on to Logan Paul, so Logan Paul gonna get this win.
Trail, what about you?
I don't see Seth losing back-to-back WrestleManias.
Yeah, that makes apples. That
Absolutely,
would be
I absolutely
dumb
see
as
it
hell
possible.
for him to lose to WrestleMania. Not just that, lose to Logan Paul. Logan Paul is an attraction. He ain't beating Seth
Seth
Rollins.
Rollins is an
Moving on.
attraction.
Moving
So
on. 6-woman tag match. We got Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch taking on Damage Control. I feel like the emotion that we had in that last one is gonna be void in this one because, to be quite honest with you, here's is there a way to say, like, I could not possibly care less about a match or a group more than I do not care about Damage Control because they lose all the goddamn time. History, we're gonna stick with you. How do you think that they've dealt with the booking of Damage Control since they formed at SummerSlam?
I felt like Damage Control was just their way of replacing Riot Squad in a lot of ways. They needed some jobbers. They don't know how to book their women. So unfortunately, Bailey is the punching bag for that shit. You know, I I think that Damage Control, I just don't care about them. They made their women's tag team run irrelevant. I don't even remember. I can't even recall any of the fucking tag team matches that they had. Every title run that Bailey went after, she fucking lost. So I feel like she is it's like playing if you play Mortal Kombat. You're not scared of Goro anymore. Now that you know that there's a Shao Kahn out there. Now that you know that there's a Kentaro who folded Goro at one point in time. It's like that. You once that big boss has now become that sub boss. You mean it doesn't matter anymore. So I just think that they did so terrible with the booking because Bailey is such a fucking good star. She's a fucking star, and there's no reason why she shouldn't have got as many chances as fucking Mercedes now. You know what I mean? It should have just fucking happened. I just don't see this not being. I don't understand why she's not having her WrestleMania moment as often as Bianca Belair has had, Becky Lynch has had, even arguably Sasha Banks, or aka Mercedes, has had. So uh, damage control is irrelevant, man. I don't see them winning this year.
Hey, Trail, can you explain to me why Lita and Becky Lynch are a team, or why
No,
Trish Stratus is there?
no, I can't explain it because I don't fucking know my damn self. This this match will be my bathroom break, smoke break, food break, up until the end when Trish Stratus turns heel. That'll probably be the most interesting point in the match.
Boy,
Andrew
you
said the best
clairvoyant. Boy,
thing.
you are clairvoyant tonight, because that is exactly what I think is gonna happen. Trish is
Exactly.
gonna turn heel and cost Becky and Lita this match and damage control.
Now, and I got a feeling that I know exactly how it's gonna happen. Lita is gonna somehow be knocked outside of the ring. She gonna be down. It's gonna be Becky and Trish, and yeah, Becky, Trish, and Bailey all in the ring. Trish hit her, boom. Bailey get the pin, damage control win. Lita
Is
don't know what
Becky
happened till it's over. Yeah.
Becky Lynch honestly lost momentum back in 2019 before that WrestleMania in like February. And now I like her a little bit, but her promos are all Hulk Hogan esque, where it's damn near in the tone of, "Well, let me tell you something, brother." And it's just the same, I'm going to talk loud shit and not have any substance to it. And
Hmm.
I like EO Sky. I like all six women in here. Problem is that they've done a thoroughly bad job with damage
Terrible job.
control. Again, they don't win enough, and they're they're probably gonna break up, I'd say, by next month. They'll get this win here. They'll break up by next month, and then they'll all be doing way better because they're not gonna be doing it together. So let's get our picks for the match. Trail, I think me and you are on the same wavelength, but let's get it official. Who you pick to win this match?
Damage control and the snooze fest.
History, what about you?
Ugh. Um, I'm gonna be the outlier on this one. I'm gonna say Becky Lynch and Lita. But yeah, again, obvious Captain Obvious should say
So
damage control.
so Trish gonna turn on Lita and Becky Lynch, and damage control still gonna win, just making them chumps even more. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't I see the Trish turning. Uh,
yeah. It's
this
it's
match
probably gonna
won't.
happen because Lita and Becky Lynch got such a big pop when they won the titles. They got such a fucking huge pop, those women. So I just don't see how it's not gonna fucking happen where
I,
they lose. But I'm gonna be the outlier. I'm gonna say Becky Lynch and Lita, but we know the truth. We know the truth is gonna happen out
yeah,
there.
yeah. I mean, I guess it's progress because women are now being paired up with legends that don't make no sense, like the men been doing for all these years. So I mean, that's equality. I mean, it's March. Women's History Month about to be over, but that's equality.
Women's history will be that they actually have it be the actual main event on Saturday or Sunday.
Ooh,
But
that's something that I disagree with, but
I'm
I
just saying,
it
if
should not.
equality like a motherfucker, if you're gonna do that like that, I think Trish cost Lita and Becky
Whoa,
the
whoa,
tag
whoa,
team
whoa,
battle
whoa.
belts.
You think this 6-man tag team match is gonna main event?
Oh no, not this one. I'm
I was
saying
about to
just a
say,
Man,
just a women's match.
you
I
need to
swear
get
to
off.
God,
I was saying
I
it should
wouldn't
I
have
thought
end
you was
watched
with
it.
gonna say you
the women's
smoked. I thought I
title
was gonna be
match.
like, dog, you got the vid. Is it fucking with your brain? This
Not
bullshit?
this
If
match.
Nah,
that was
Not this
main
match.
eventing, I would not watch absolutely
I would
one
not.
second of WrestleMania.
But
No.
yeah,
I'm
it's
saying that because I don't think that the women's title match is going to be. Well, we're gonna go to it,
we gonna
but
get to it in a second. But we got the Monster Mash coming up. Brock
oh
Lesnar
Jesus,
versus Omos. Now, by your tone, I got a feeling you're not excited. This is Brock Lesnar, Cowboy Brock Lesnar's lowest profile WrestleMania match since
stop.
he faced Dean Ambrose back in 2016. Every other time that Brock Lesnar has been in a WrestleMania match up until this point, it's either been in a major grudge match for the title or he was breaking the streak. Every other year, he's had something important going on. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm intrigued by this.
Oh
Seeing
God.
Brock Lesnar throw around this big man, I'm be- I'm impressed. I'm gonna be impressed. I'm sorry. Call me simple. Say I'm Vince McMahon. I love the big dudes, but seeing Brock Lesnar lift this dude up for that F5 in this 6 minute match is gonna be entertaining. Like basically, do book this like they booked Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 33.
Goldberg
Just
smoked the fuck out of.
finisher, finisher spam, everything. Just have like again that match was like. Let me get the time that match was. But
My man
Trail,
did
what are your thoughts
WWE
on
2K18. This motherfucker.
what
When
are
you get
your thoughts on Brock Lesnar versus Omos? While I get the official time of Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg from 33.
oh my God.
Surprisingly, this actually been one of my favorite bills. 'Cause, like
Oh God,
Right?
no.
a few weeks ago, I'd say it's like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, Brock Lesnar came out for MVP show, and he
Damn.
told MVP to sell the fight, and MVP really sold the fight. Like he
Bro,
sold me on the fight. So I'm like, oh, this could be it. And like the last few weeks, they interactions, I'm like, hold on,
it's
they trying to
simple.
make this shit interesting. Like,
It's simple. You ain't gotta do all this everything they
Mm.
don't got to be the bloodline. Sometimes you can do stuff old school and simple. Big black dude versus big white man. That's old school and simple. I'm looking forward to it. And Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg from WrestleMania 33 was exactly 4 minutes and 45 seconds, and it was the best match on that second best match on that card after the tag team ladder match where the Hardys came back. But dog, I'm sorry,
Um,
I'm looking forward to seeing these two big dudes go at it for like 5 minutes.
I
I'm
do
looking
believe
forward to
though
it.
this is Omos's last chance. I
Yeah,
believe that if he doesn't look somewhat like a superstar after this match, I believe it's over for him.
you got it.
ah,
What
so,
about you, history? Go ahead and rain on our parade.
um, I'm gonna put out my theory, and I hope
Why
that
aren't
this
you looking
really does.
forward to this?
I because this is a fucking trash ass fucking pick of a match. This doesn't make sense to me on paper,
Oh, would
but
you rather have Brock Lesnar versus your boy Bray Wyatt? Your boy?
no, I see me. I would rather have got an actual true fucking match between Bobby Lashley and versus Brock Lesnar in a real
I mean,
fucking like
everybody
high.
would.
Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar just feels like it should have been a better match. The way that they ended the fucking last match between Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, come on, man.
Yeah, that was some
So
bullshit.
that
It
was
was
some
all
bullshit.
three matches, honestly, that they were disappointed in. Like conceptually, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley should have just been
Yeah, maybe they just ain't got
Goldberg.
that chemistry to make a good match. I mean,
Yeah, that's true. That could be it. It
Ah,
should have been a higher quality version of Brock Lesnar versus
yeah,
Goldberg.
I don't
Because
even care
Bobby
about
Lashley is a better wrestler than
I
Goldberg.
don't care about and I'm a fan of Bray Wyatt. I really don't care about the matchup between Bray Wyatt versus Bobby Lashley.
That's not
I didn't
happening. Bray
I
Wyatt took
yeah
his
no
stupid ass Uncle
well
Howdy mask, all
well
that stupid bullshit he's been doing. He took that,
let me
went
finish.
home to his little swamp,
So
and Bobby
what I'm
Lashley
saying
ain't on.
is that I
I
didn't
could go
care
on a
about
rant
that.
on Bray Wyatt.
Really want I wanted a true fucking match between Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, and I feel like they never booked that one correctly. They never truly gave a fucking shot at that match. They never built it in this big match fucking capacity, which is sad because these are two fucking main event heavyweights for two MMA brands, and he did not do the justice. by booking these two fucking guys. So when I look at a guy like Omos, who I know who's terrible not only on the microphone but also even in wrestling, and you're going against this person who's like has only 7 moves by himself as well. Realistically, I don't want to see this match. I will take it. This will be a dog walking, and we both are going to be taking a piss break at the same time. I might even go
I
make
mean, we're
dinner.
not.
So
You'll probably take a break. I'm looking forward to seeing
I just think this is a stupid
these
match,
two
man.
big jokers going at it.
These are not go.
I'm
I'm telling
sorry.
you, this gonna make you just want to see fucking Omos be tossed all the way around the ring. I don't feel
Yeah,
like this is gonna be a
And
true.
mean,
I don't feel like this is a true match. I don't feel like this
and
is exciting.
you that's all I need.
Yeah,
Let me
then
see
why
Brock
would you,
Lesnar. Let
if
me
you're
see that
saying
farm
this
boy
is
strength.
Omos's chance, then realistically, this not gonna do nothing for anything. You know that this is
Yes, it will.
literally the end
It'll
of
be
Omos'
entertain.
career.
It's gonna be entertaining seeing
We're
farm boy
watching the
Brock
end of a
Lesnar
man's career
throw this
tomorrow.
man.
I don't think that we got the that's tomorrow or Saturday. I don't think that we got the context of this.
I
We're
mean,
watching the end of Omos this weekend.
that's all I need. I just need Brock toss him around a little bit.
I
Now, my
yeah,
man Andrew brings up a good point and brings up some hopeful possibility. Friday on SmackDown, we're gonna get the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. They've moved it from WrestleMania to SmackDown over the last
smart.
couple of years. And Bobby Lashley is one of the participants in there. There are a lot of people in that match that I think they probably should be on the WrestleMania card, but that's another discussion. And Bobby Lashley clearly over the last year has earned a spot at WrestleMania. He won the WWE Championship last year, won the US title. He's done a ton of great stuff, and it's just like, nah. What Andrew proposed is Bobby Lashley perhaps interfering in the Omos Brock Lesnar match, and that could motivate on WrestleMania Night 2, Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar for the third and final time. This also feels like it could be like Brock Lesnar retirement because realistically, and Brock Lesnar is very careful with who he works with, which is why he smartly said, "Yeah, I ain't fucking with Bray Wyatt." I think this could be one of Brock Lesnar's like final last
Hoorahs.
hurrahs. And I think he probably thought, like, you know what? I could face Bray Wyatt, do a lot of goofy, dumb clown shit, or I could do a less strenuous match, do one that's just going to be all bombs, take less time, still get paid the same amount of money. That is the American dream. You do as little work as possible for as much money as possible. That is something that we should all aspire to. But let's get our picks
absolutely.
for this match.
Oh yeah, let's move on.
History, go
This
right
is
ahead. Go.
tiresome.
What's your match?
This is a tiresome match,
What,
man.
who are you picking in this match? Lesnar, Omos.
Like Dave Chappelle said about LeBron James, if he was becoming a woman and decided to play in the WNBA and persist to score 800 plus points on these motherfucking females, I'm just gonna say that not Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar is gonna go in this match and fucking suplex this man Omos into the ring so much that we're gonna have to get a ring replacement and a long promo in between about how the Rock is going to set fire to numbers, and we're gonna be seeing how many people are in the stadium in between time, and we're gonna be watching literally plywood being brought to the back because Brock Lesnar is gonna destroy this man this weekend. It's
Trail, what
gonna fucking
about you? Who
happen.
you picking? Omos or Brock Lesnar?
I think Brock is gonna win, but I think it's gonna be the exact opposite of how history think it's gonna go down. I think Omos is gonna dominate the majority of the match, and then last maybe minute Brock get him with a few Germans F5, and we call it a night.
Nah.
I see the match going in a similar way. Brock Lesnar is going to work like he a cruiserweight or something, fly
Mm-hmm.
around while him and Omos are going at it. And I think Omos, he's going to have some big, strong boy moments. Hell, Omos might throw Brock Lesnar out the ring clean, but I am going to go with Brock Lesnar as well because that makes sense.
Shout
Now,
out to Andrew. Andrew
the
said
arena exploding.
yes, the arena is going to implode. I'm telling you,
Dog,
Brock Lesnar is
the history of
going to just
WrestleMania.
throw
And let me just
everything.
say this to anybody who's out there. Oh, why they having this big WrestleMania is built on the foundation of big men doing big shit at WrestleMania. That goes back to the first WrestleMania. Look it up. Andre the Giant, Big John Studd. Sorry, be mad all you want to. Big men gonna always have a place in
I don't have a
WrestleMania.
problem
But
with big men.
Yeah,
I have a
moving
problem with the
on
fact that we
to
have
we
one
gonna
of the
the
worst
always
big
next
have
men
a
ever.
match, we
giant.
have the Raw Women's Championship match. It is Bianca Belair versus Asuka. Bianca Belair recently became the longest running black champion, male or female, in the history of WWE. That means her as a singles champion. That means longer than any of the Rock's title reigns, Lashley's, Kofi's, whoever you name.
Well
She made
deserved.
that history. But she is going up against a buzzsaw named Asuka. Asuka has dipped into her old school kind of bag, and she is now poised to challenge Bianca Belair. As I said at the top with the women's builds, this has been kind of disappointing because they did the same shit where two people who are about to face off in a match, they do a tag team, and it's like, how are they ever gonna get along? Well, they didn't. Asuka jumped Bianca after the match, and that set things up. So
Hold up,
I
hold up,
think
hold
we
up.
all
What did that say at Elimination Chamber? I said that shit at Elimination Chamber. They were not
what
going
do
to
you,
book this fucking well. This does not make sense, this booking for Oscar versus Bianca Belair. It did not. I said that shit for a while. Now you're disappointed at the booking. Go ahead. Finish what you were saying, baby.
you are you happy about that? You sound like
I
BB
am
Drake
proud
in
of.
Friday After Next, where she was just like, where when Day Day was just like, "You proud your son is a word I
Big
ain't gonna be saying
house.
on this stream." Like
Yeah,
you was just proud of that. Like,
I am
I knew this
proud.
was gonna be
I am proud
terrible.
because I was
Anyway,
right.
back to
I
the
was
match.
right. Round of applause for history.
So, am I alone? Am I alone in thinking that Bianca Belair needs a character change? Because she has been basically the exact same mode since she got called up. Like a lot of people in WWE, a lot of baby faces, once they go from heel to baby face, became uninteresting. I think Bianca needs a heel turn. Whether she wins or loses, she needs a heel turn. What do y'all think?
I think it's hard to turn Bianca Hill right now because how over she is outside of WWE.
Yeah,
Like
that's a fair point.
she's like whenever you need an appearance, hey, we gonna send Bianca. Like she's such a public figure for WWE. It's such a like she's literally like the face of women for WWE right now. So
Yeah, and
I don't see her losing.
what
I could see them potentially having a great match. I don't see her losing though.
what
Because
I'm
Mhm.
like
worried about with Bianca
she's
Belair,
treading John Cena territory as far as
that's what I'm
women.
worried about. Like, not positive John, the Boo Bird,
Boo,
let's
yeah.
boo John Cena,
Yeah.
and I don't want that, which is why I want her to lose because I don't need to watch wrestling for the next nigh on years hearing the "Let's go Bianca, Bianca." I don't need that. Yeah, it was cool with John Cena. We kind of don't need that. We need something a little more clear, and I don't want Bianca to get into that area where it's just let's shit on Bianca because she's winning all the time. And I personally think it's kind of time to get a new coat of paint on the Raw Women's Division. Trail, go right ahead.
I say this: if you was gonna have Bianca lose at WrestleMania this year, it would have been to Rhea.
Yeah.
So
I
that for
see.
that reason alone, that's why I don't think Bianca's gonna lose.
I think they're setting up Bianca Rhea for WrestleMania next year. Like I think Rhea Ripley is getting her lick back from Charlotte. Spoiler alert: she getting her lick back from WrestleMania in the pandemic, and I think that's your money mat. That is your main event for WrestleMania night one or night two next year. Bianca versus Rhea, because if Bianca turns heel, like let's say Judgment Day, and you know what? Fuck it. Let's lump in the SmackDown Women's Championship here too, with Charlotte defending against Rhea. If you're Bianca, if you're Triple H, you book Bianca for the next year. You have her be pissed off. Like you don't necessarily turn her heel, but you have a pissed off Bianca start running through bitches over the next year. Have her
You
own
gonna
the
call
Royal
bitches on
Rumble
Women's
next
History
year.
Month, dog? You gonna call,
Yeah, like
you
uh,
gonna
Hey, you
call
talking about
talking
just running through bitches like
bitches
running
damn.
through bitches,
through Women's History Month, dog? Damn. Oh
running
God.
through these hoes. I could have said that,
Hoes
but
and bitches in Women's History Month. Damn, Jamel.
damn
I get
straight.
it, Doug. I know you tired
Anyway,
of this month. I know you done. It's
damn
329,
straight.
dog. Just
Anyway,
give it a little bit
Running
more
what I'm
through
time.
these
Just a few more
bitches.
to
days.
kind of flare to
The
kind of
fuck?
finish my point. Bianca runs
Say
through
5
these
Hail Marys
bitches.
when the stream is over.
I'm nah. Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep doing it. She gonna run through these hoes for this next year. She
God
gonna be
damn.
bad, pissed off. She gonna win the Royal Rumble. Rhea Ripley is gonna have that belt for the next year. In fact, I would not be shocked if at SummerSlam they try and unify the women's titles and have Rhea hold both belts. That way, you got the biggest women's match ever: Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, main event of WrestleMania. I say you had that main event WrestleMania night 2. That's my prediction for next year. But I think it's time that Bianca loses. What about you, History?
Nah, man. I'm actually gonna give you my prediction right now. Bianca's gonna win. Bianca's gonna hand down win. That's that. There's no reason to take the belt off of her. You should not take the belt off of her. I think that they're gonna go the route where they're gonna unify these titles. So no reason to take the title off of your biggest fucking female star right now. No reason.
So to hell with Oscar then, because
Yes,
Oscar just
and
came back. You've got Oscar who can be just as big of a star
nope,
as anybody else in this
No, she
division.
can't.
nope,
Y'all
no,
just
she
like
can't.
nah.
No, she
She
can't.
can't. She can't be as big as Bianca.
Not with the character that she's playing. No,
Oh
she can't.
yeah, well let's
Not
go with
even
our
that because
predictions.
it's because
I'm
she
going with
can't
Oscar
speak
to win
proper
this.
English.
Here's my thing. I'm going with Oscar to win this because they need to change. Like there needs to be a change. I feel there's going to be a lot of change happening at this
They
WrestleMania,
can change it in the middle, of, like while she got
and
the belt on.
Oscar, like yeah, Oscar's going to beat Bianca at this. What about you, Trell? Who you going with?
No, I'm going Bianca. I don't see her losing.
Mm,
What about Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte? Honestly, we didn't talk about this one much because they've done a poor job building, but it's basically
yeah.
Rhea looking to get her lick back from a couple of years ago. Are any of us picking Charlotte Flair? Like let
No,
me
I just
keep it
I just
strict.
want to see her pin her. I just want to see the Rhea pin on Charlotte. That's it.
Charlotte with no ass. Okay, cool. Like it that
yeah.
is just
Rhea has done a
Charlotte.
good job by promoting another match, not this match. So
Rhea's
Rhea,
done
Rhea,
more to help Dom and Rey Mysterio's story than the actual story. And it's because Charlotte Flair, similar to Mercedes Monet, has been the exact same character that she was in NXT. There has
yes,
been no variance, no change. At least you can say Becky Lynch and Bailey have changed some since they were in
But
NXT.
Charlotte's character, she didn't need. She don't need to change it.
She just
Charlotte Flair is her character. Like
she's
I'm
Ric
Charlotte
Flair.
Flair.
She's female Ric Flair,
yeah.
and she's not as fun as Ric Flair because Ric Flair got to be crazy. If you go back and watch some old Ric Flair stuff, he got to be insane. And Charlotte doesn't. She's just I'm the best, and that's it.
Period.
Can
Right?
you see Charlotte Flair just being kiss stealing from random dudes in the middle of the fucking
I
stream
mean,
in the
I
middle
mean,
of
you can
WWE?
try it.
It's
I
not
mean, you
gonna
can
go
try it.
over well. It's not gonna make her look great.
Vince, they could have did that with
What's
Vince.
the next match?
They could have did
Fuck.
that with Vince. I'm just
We
saying,
done gave up
Charlotte.
prediction.
They could have did something, but Charlotte is just she she got booed out the fucking building. On like that was telling. They
Yeah,
were wetting her ass, and it's just I'm great. She's
yeah,
great, but like that's it.
And
Like
I think
there's nothing else.
Rhea is like slowly becoming so over that she's turning face
yeah.
without even like I see that eventually happen to Rhea. Maybe even
I
Judgment Day as a whole.
not Dominic. Dominic got no face. He is too good at being a
He's
heel. Let him
he's
Well,
let him
yeah,
super
never
stay.
mind.
nuclear.
He too
He's super
he too
nuclear.
good at being a piece of shit as a heel. But before we get to the big main event, let's go on to triple threat IC championship match. We got Gunther, the ring general, taking on Sheamus, taking on Drew McIntyre. I think this will be the strongest in-ring match across both nights of WrestleMania because
That's a
these
meaty
three
match right there.
are just gonna beat the shit out of each other, and it's gonna be beautiful. Like Clash at the Castle plus Drew McIntyre, it's just all three of these white boys are gonna be just beat red, and it's gonna be a sight to see. What about you, History? What do you think of this match going into it?
Does this mean I think that this match is a really good match on paper.
Mm,
So what you
you don't
saying? You
think it's
saying
gonna
this might
work?
be a? You think
I
this
think
ain't
that
gonna work?
I don't think that this is. I think that this match is a good match on paper. I
WWE, to their credit, they found a formula with multi-man matches over the last like 5 years.
yes.
Every multi-man match that they have, for some reason,
Banger.
that's their formula. Like you look at the Daniel Bryan Edge Roman Reigns main event from a couple years ago. You look at a lot of the tag team stuff when it's more than just two teams. Like that's WWE's. If there's like the thing that they do better than any other company, it's multi-mans. And
Mhm,
I think this one, you got two elements of what was probably their match of the year last year, and you're
mhm.
adding in Drew McIntyre. That, like, I'm sorry, I don't know how this does not go well.
Yeah,
But
I'm
History,
about to
you were
say
making a
like,
point.
uh,
Well, no, I would. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that this match is going to be great. I just don't feel like I'm excited about it beyond the fact of like I know three names are part of it. Again, I this is kind of going into those pockets again. Is the fact that Sheamus then did this heel face flip around multiple times now at this point in time, and
I
we've already
wouldn't
had
say
these
that.
been
He's been pretty much
he's changed
he's been
multiple times.
babyface ever since Clash at the Castle. Like that turned him babyface.
That's not that long ago, though, bro. That was
That was
not a
September. Like he hasn't
that's
been
not
healed.
that's
Yeah,
not long.
that was a turn though. Like he's been healed. He's been a face ever since then.
That's not that. All right. I I guess I was just gonna say reference against to Paul White again. I feel like Sheamus is definitely taking that
No,
spot of like changing
nobody.
face
Paul
heel.
White. Nobody.
Paul
Paul White turned heel and face
heel
in the same damn
same
night.
day. Yeah, he
Like
changed
he did that shit like
heel
it was
face.
drinking water. He
Yeah,
turned
I
heel and
just feel
face like
like
it was
he
changing his
changes all the
draw.
time. I like Sheamus. I like Sheamus. I like the dynamic between them two. I just would have liked to see a match between Sheamus and Drew McIntyre just finish this fucking feud because they had a feud before this, and it just feels like a fucking ongoing thing at this point in time. Are you friends? Are you not friends? Are you boys?
those
You
they want to,
went to
yeah, they one of those like brothers where it's like, as long as we're in the same vicinity, we either gonna be friends or we gonna be fighting. I
It's
feel like
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn of
that's
the
gonna be their shtick for the rest of their careers. With
that's
yeah,
it.
when they on the
It's
same
but
basically
brand.
them
that
and
kind of
Kevin
goes into
Owens
my
and Sami
point.
Zayn who
Like you
have
already got a
that back
bunch
and
of
forth.
these though. You got a bunch of these same kind of like MOs, and it doesn't feel good when you have
I
the
mean,
same
that's
MO for a
because
lot of
like
matches.
you bleed in reality to it. Like, okay, everybody know Sheamus and Drew like best friends, so it's like it's gonna be hard to believably have them feud all the time. So it's gonna be,
Mhm.
in some cases it's gonna be like, oh, we getting along. Oh wait, you just did some fuck shit. Now we beefing. All right,
Yeah.
we got over that fuck shit. Now we on the same page. So it's like, I mean, it's always gonna be like that because real life, social media has took that curtain away. So it's like we see the real now. So now
Yeah.
it's like some stars stories are gonna be harder to spin, but for this match, I'm definitely thinking Sheamus is going to take it, become a Grand Slam
Yeah.
champion.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think that's
I
going
do,
to happen
and I
too.
believe Drew is going to lay down for him. I think Drew is going to be the. I don't see Gunther getting pinned. I believe Drew is going to be the one to take the pin for
Which
Sheamus.
I would totally prefer because I do
See,
not want to see Gunther get pinned.
I'm
I
actually going a different direction. I think Gunther's I think Gunther is going to win because like I think either way Drew's gonna be the one who gets laid down because I think Gunther's gonna break Honky Tonk Man's IC title reign because that needs to end. Like they did that with Demolition. Roman, he's got like the longest modern reign. Like they need to. Honky Tonk Man is too shit of a wrestler to have that distinction. And Gunther, I don't see him losing. I honestly don't see him. One, if he does walk out without that belt, he ain't taking a pin. It's Drew McIntyre. But
okay.
I think he gonna break that record because it's like, dog, he now has the longest time spent in the Royal Rumble. He's got this mammoth title reign, and I think that they might as well just let him keep it going. Like he ain't even got to
Nah,
a full year as IC champion. Like I think he gonna be set up to be
I
get
think
around
Can
this
with
I
Grant
this
ask?
is
Can I?
this
Nelson.
the
Can I?
way to get that belt off of him to push him to the main event. Also, you got to remember Sheamus and Triple H were boys, so Triple H is gonna want to give Sheamus that moment of Grand Slam
Saying,
champion to round out his
But
career because he may not got too
I'm
many
actually
years
I'm
left.
actually gonna
but
twist it differently. I'm gonna actually say
but
this.
let's
Go
think
ahead.
about this. Clash at the Castle could happen again this year. Like
No,
there's always that possibility of going back to
Nah,
Europe, and that's
here
where you can do it. They could do it in
here's
London for Money in the Bank. Like I don't think Sheamus gets the win here. I think he gets it this year, but not at Mania.
I'm actually gonna I'm gonna twist the game up a little bit more, and we kind of all put our prediction, and let's move on to the next match after this. But I would like to see if Gunther loses tonight at the old United States Open Challenge for John Cena. He beats John Cena. That would definitely solidify his fucking legacy significantly more.
Mhm.
I think that
Nah,
would be,
I think
yeah, it
I
would.
think owning a record that's gonna last for like 40 years. I think
I
that's
mean, we don't talk
important
about Honky Tonk. We didn't talk about Honky Tonk Man for
because he's
a
Honky Tonk
while.
Man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can easily forget about a person being
You can forget about
that
Honky
long.
Tonk Man.
You can
You can
forget
forget
about a
about
lot of
Jerry
people. You
Lawler's
can forget
cousin.
about a lot of people. Like, you mean, so I
They
just
rarely talk about him. Period. Like they up a lot of people. Honky Tonk Man ain't one of them people who
that's
gets
what I'm
up.
saying. No,
Gunther, if he
you can
breaks that
forget
record,
about a person.
they will, especially if he transitions to the main event, they're always gonna bring that up.
I
Like if
mean,
Chris
when he
Jericho was still in the
transitioned to the
Yes and
company,
main event,
no. Yeah, yeah, yes and no. But what's the next match, man?
well, it's the match that you are looking forward to.
Oh God.
I'd say least, and that is Edge and the Demon Finn Balor inside Hell in a Cell. Now,
Oh,
I will say this: one, it's time this feud ends, and I'm
like
predicting
last
Finn
year.
Balor win. But also, to the credit of Triple H, we are getting Hell in a Cell not at a Hell in a Cell fucking pay per view. That pay per view is dead like fried chicken, and Hell in a Cell should be used only to end feuds. It shouldn't be, hey, let's bring this out because it's October, hey, it's June. Nah, Hell in a Cell should be used every few years for a hot feud to end. But Judgment Day versus Edge. Even Edge is tired of this shit because he talked about that a couple weeks ago. He was just like, dog, I came back and I had like 3 years left. 1 year, I was wrestling in front of TV screens. Then this whole last year, I've been fucking with y'all. I've been hurt. I kind of don't got time for this shit. So he ready to move on.
And because he's
I'm
ready to
ready to move
retire too,
on.
though. But yeah,
Trail ready to move on. You ready to move on. Are any of y'all picking Edge to win this match? And
no,
why?
no.
no.
Because there serves no purpose. Finn Balor, and I didn't like Finn Balor for a while because Finn Balor was just vanilla midget.
We
Like
not about to
honestly,
have no Finn Balor slander. No, we
he was
not finna
he
do
was
that.
just generic. Ooh, this dude was big in Japan, and I'm supposed to care about him. But thanks to the Judgment Day, Finn Balor is one of my favorite people because they're all just acting like assholes and it's just entertaining. Like Finn Balor flexing and saying, yeah, is the best character work he's done. And that's all he needs to do. Like, so I think Finn Balor is going, if they do split the belts, I think he's getting one of them belts either this year or early next year. Like, if they do decide to split them belts up, I can see him being like Universal Champion or beating Cody for like getting one of them belts. I think that's gonna happen because he's the main let me rephrase that. Rhea Ripley is the main event player of Judgment Day. Finn is the main event male of Judgment. You know what? I'm not even gonna say that because we ain't even talking about the main event male yet. So what say
Yeah.
y'all? Wait, what say y'all? Y'all think Finn Balor got a shot at being world champ this year?
This year, no.
No.
Unless they do split
If
the
they split,
belts.
yeah, that's the caveat. If they split the belts,
If they split the belt, even if they split the belts, not this year. I say probably maybe next year. Maybe.
maybe.
I would
Okay,
love to see him feuding for the title for this year.
that's gonna happen. Like I think
Hmm.
one of them belts is gonna go to. I think Rhea with her winning the SmackDown title, all the Judgment Day gonna move over to SmackDown. One that's gonna keep the main event feud of Judgment Day going, which we'll get to in a second. But also that will allow, if they do again, universal title. You got Finn Balor as one of those main event guys. You got Drew McIntyre. You got a lot of people who could be universal champs. So yeah, that's what the prediction. So yeah, we are all in agreement. Finn Balor's winning this Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
I think this next match is also going to be one we can keep kind of short and sweet. The winner of this WrestleMania showcase, women's Fatal Four Way Showcase, is going to get a shot at the women's tag titles. Probably, I'd say probably Raw after WrestleMania. I'm looking at it and I'm
Bathroom
struggling
break
to
number
care.
2.
Yeah, Liv
Bro,
Morgan,
just
Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalia and Shotzi versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna
Mr.
Baszler.
Apartment.
Ronda and Shayna.
Yeah,
Next match.
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
about to say, either,
and
fuck, because I don't see Liv Morgan. Nope, none of them.
I
Yeah.
do like how on SmackDown they did highlight how Ronda and Shayna Baszler were basically menaces to Natalia, Shotzi, Raquel, and Liv Morgan. I like that, but
Hmm.
it ain't enough. And it again further highlights how badly the women's division needs some TLC post WrestleMania. So yeah, we all in agreement.
We need to
Shayna
give.
and Ronda.
I stand on the ground that we needed to give women's their own pay per view, which is Women's Evolution. I think that that was perfectly fine, and they actually did a really good job by making women
Here's the
more
thing
characters
though.
invested to that.
If you built that up, if they had done that now, it would be such a bad show because nothing that they got going on with the women is like,
But
ooh, this
they
is
would have to,
I'd
if you made
spend
it
money
like
on the
their
pay per
version
view.
of WrestleMania or something like that, it would feel better. It would you would have more characters. I mean, more people to invest in. I do think that like I mean that was a good idea at one point in time when they were saying about making a 24/7 title, a mid card title for women's for the women's title, but that would be too many belts. Now WWE would be like engulfing that AEW stereotype of like too many damn titles.
Let's see. Currently, we
So,
got
but what's the next match?
two. I think honestly they could dissolve the women's. They should have dissolved the women's tag titles and just made a women's IC title. But be that as it may, the
Agreed.
next match is going to be much more fun. It's the men's showcase match because you got Ricochet and Braun Strowman. You got the Vikings, who, but you got the Alpha Academy and you got Street Profits. Um,
Um,
who in this match are who do y'all think is going to win this WrestleMania showcase match?
Street Profits.
Yeah, Street Profits.
Street
They're the only
Profits.
ones that make sense, honestly, because it's like, eh, yeah, you could do Braun
Uh,
Strowman. And Braun Strowman, weirdly enough, dude still is really over, and he does like whenever he does the yeah, like whenever he does that shit, people get pumped for it and does run around the ring. People still like it, and like Ricochet, people like him, but it's just like,
it's
don't see them doing it. I don't see
yeah,
the Vikings getting the win because it's just like they the Viking Raiders. Alpha Academy, I think
yeah.
they're
But
gonna
it's
break
like
up after WrestleMania because
Yeah, they
yeah,
Otis,
over.
that boy Otis is about to be a model and he's about to get all the bitches. Like he is gonna get all the hoes.
And they
And
about
Chad
and
Gable,
they about to put a rocket up Chad Gable ass.
bro,
How bad
yeah,
they
that
about to
Cody
push
Rhodes
him.
match was like an eye opener, and then that Ricochet match last week
yeah.
was an eye opener, and it's just like he is ready. Like Chad Gable, to his credit, he survived bad Vince McMahon booking. Remember Shorty G? Like they had that man actually be out there and be like he Shorty G, and he survived that shit, and he is now he ready for it. Like it's gonna be
And
fun watching him. That's who, if y'all US title idea happens, that could be a good person to challenge John Cena and beat him.
that
And
would be a good
immediately
person.
Chad Gable's over. But
And that's the
yeah,
match right
this
before the
showcase match is
Usos.
gonna be fun.
That's a good way to
Like,
fucking go. The transition is that's a match right before the Usos match. Yeah, so yeah, that's a good fucking
but
transition.
let's get
That's
to the
yeah.
three matches that have the most storyline investment, the three matches that have the most storyline credibility across both nights of WrestleMania and including Stand and Deliver. First up, we have the main of the really the main attraction. We got Rey Mysterio going into the Hall of Fame. That's cute and all, but we got the alpha heel of professional wrestling. We have the Chad, you can give me your Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns, I acknowledge the tribal chief. MJF, he's fantastic. But there is nobody who people genuinely dislike more than
Then Dominic
Dominic
Mysterio.
Mysterio. And really think
Yeah.
about this. 1 year ago, Dominic Mysterio was just Rey Mysterio. That was his character. Was I'm Rey Mysterio's son. He was piggybacking his daddy on his back, and no, nah. Now he is a piece of shit, and it's beautiful. Like the line where he said, "I wish Eddie was my daddy." Like him growing out the mullet and that little wisp of a mustache. It's fun. How do y'all feel about Dominic Mysterio, and why do you think he's the greatest thing ever? Trail.
I love him. I said the last show, Dominic probably is my favorite thing going in wrestling right now. I mean, shit, he's like you love to hate him. Like he, it almost seemed like it's like that X Pac go away heat. Like you want
But
him to
it's
go away,
intentional.
but it's like you want to see what he gonna say next because it's probably some foul, wicked shit, or you want to see where he gonna pop up on his daddy at next because like why not? But yeah,
Uh,
I think Dominic's definitely gonna get the win. Um,
You going history? You think what's your feelings on Dominic?
Um, I wish that he was a better wrestler, but I definitely do think that he really does a great job at being a evil heel. He makes me hate him. But my
mhm.
problem is also is that what is he going to be when his dad is done wrestling? Like I
Ray
think
got Ray. Let's see, how old is he? He is
He's about to be
40.
49.
He is 48 years old, so he'll be 49 in December. So realistically, Rey Mysterio maybe has 2 full years left as a wrestler. Now,
maybe.
I'll say this: Rey Mysterio also has a bad history of knee injuries. You know,
Hmm.
he got surgery 5 times in his left knee in that old WWE video. So, and he hasn't been injured in a while, and so it's almost like basketball where Anthony Davis he ain't been injured in like a month, and it's just like, oh, well, we on the clock for when he gonna get hurt again because street clothes is his nickname. So that is a concern. But I almost think Dominic being a shitty wrestler helps his character because it's like you're so bad at this and you act like you so good at this. Like I hate you. You're such an asshole, and it's just beautiful. History. What's
Yeah.
your pick for this match?
Oh, I just have a hard time believing that they're gonna have Rey Mysterio lose on the night that he gets the Hall of Fame. So I do, but I do think that it will fucking radiate so much more heat if Dominic wins. But I'm gonna pick Rey Mysterio for this one, just for the sole purpose because of the fact that if it wasn't for the Hall of Fame, I would pick Dominic. But I'm gonna pick Rey
Dominic
Mysterio
will
for this
show up.
one.
Show up to the Mysterio house for Easter. How
But
you fucking up the resurrection, Dominic? You piece of shit.
yeah,
I I'm in accord with Trail. In fact, I think this feud goes at least another pay-per-view because I think one, we're gonna get a tag team match at Backlash with Rey Mysterio and Bad Bunny against Dom and Damian Priest. Because it's in Puerto Rico. Priest is Puerto Rican, Bad Bunny, Rey Mysterio. Like that makes sense for an attraction match. But I think this ends at like Money in the Bank or something like that in a masks versus hair match. Y'all notice Dominic growing out that Eddie Guerrero style mullet. What better way to get Dominic shaved off than to have Ray put his mask on the line? And Ray, what they could do is Dominic can be all cocky, like, dog, yeah, I beat my dad. And Ray's just like, dog, like, let me get another match. Let me do this. And Dom kind of being a piece of shit, runs from Ray like, nah, like I beat you. I got no reason to face you no more. I beat you. And
mhm.
it kind of builds up over the next like one or two pay-per-views, mask versus hair match. Dominic gets shaved. Also, Dominic got engaged last year and he's getting married relatively soon. I imagine Dominic's future wife is just like, nah, you're not gonna be in my wedding pictures with a fucking mullet. Like, what do we look like? Like what kind of trash do we look like? You shaving that off. So that would be perfect. That'd be a perfect way to like to get him right. But this is gonna be
Huh.
fun. Like however, Ray is gonna do his absolute best to make Dominic look as good as possible.
Yeah.
Now on to the main events. The Bloodline storyline looks to be, could possibly be on the last legs. First, we have the unified tag title match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn taking on the Usos. What say y'all about this match, this storyline, specifically as it relates to the relationship between Jimmy, Jay, Kevin, and Sammy? We'll start off with you, Trail.
Um, shit. I wish this whole thing went in a total different direction.
Thank you.
Uh,
I
but
know you guys were very big on Sami
Uh,
Zayn being in the main event against Roman Reigns. I know y'all were big on that.
can we talk
mm,
about these two collectively? And like, well, we also don't have a lot more time on it, but can we talk about these two because they are
Sure.
kind of linked together
The
yeah,
the
in the same.
supreme main event of the evening is Cody Rhodes, 2023 Royal Rumble winner, taking on the Uwu undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Main event of main events, Cody versus Roman. So, what do y'all think? Do you think this is the beginning of the end of the Bloodline storyline? And what do y'all? Why do y'all think Sami Zayn should have been the one to be in the main event?
because it made more sense. The
Yeah, it
story
made,
was better. It was a. I felt like they had to pivot to where we are now, and that pivot almost didn't work. The reason it worked is because of Jay Uso. The only reason it worked, and I felt like if Jay Uso wasn't the character he's been, the whole thing would have went down the toilet. But
yeah,
even in saying that, it's like Jay Uso been so great. I hate for him to lose at WrestleMania now, because everybody knows Sammy and KO is about to win.
yeah,
But I don't see Roman losing. I don't
yeah,
see Cody taking. I don't see them passing up the opportunity to have a 1,000 reign champion. I don't see them
yes.
passing that up.
Now, history, what say you? Well, what's your thoughts on this?
I kind of been even when I said like for Elimination Chamber, man. I just think it's trash that we're gonna go this route where Sami Zayn. I was hoping that Sami Zayn wins. I just hated the idea that my man Cody Rhodes won a fucking Royal Rumble, and then now he's the main event for that person. I really just felt like that
You
should
mean
have
the
just.
rule? You mean the rule that's existed for
I
like
think that Sami
almost
Zayn should
30
have been in that
years,
Royal
bro?
Rumble match, man. It should have been Sami Zayn in that Royal
That
Rumble
that
match.
should have been the swerve. That should have been his test. Put him in the Royal Rumble match at number 30. He
Yeah,
should have won it.
there you go.
Now
Thank
you
you.
got to lay down.
Trail, me and you there, right there.
Like
So I feel like that should have been the test. You mean, or you could have been like so outlandish, had none of the Usos in the Royal Rumble. Sami Zayn got to survive number one, or some shit like that. Like you could have been like some weird ass fucking test to make him. It would have made more sense. You put me through hell, literally for two things. You put me through hell not only for the Royal Rumble, but then also on top of the Elimination Chamber. Now we got this still. We got this moment where he's getting his ass whooped by maybe Solo Sequoia or some shit like that. Whatever, like that. I just feel like it should have been fucking Sammy, man. Because the
I
only
I'm
people
in
that coded
disagreement.
for it was Seth Rollins. And you mean he really hasn't had any matches. You mean I know that we now kind of playing catch up a little bit with these matches recently, but he hasn't really had any fucking matches. And
Jamel,
if
I
I
disagree.
get where you come from because Cody's over. He deserve it. This story could have worked. Yeah, this story could have worked at Backlash, Judgment Day, Taboo Tuesday, Saturday Night Main Event. This story could have worked anywhere. I
yes,
felt
I
like
want to highlight what Andrew just said. The reason why I think Roman is not winning is because do you send the crowd home upset? That is a
yes,
Vince McMahon thing. You send the crowd home
you see
salty.
what you just said, Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon ain't running this no more.
Triple H is
yes.
running it, which is why I think now. I think a more interesting direction to go to would be have the Usos win their match and have Roman Reigns lose. Because then you could change up the dynamics of the bloodline and be like, oh, Roman, you lost. does he still become, or does he still have that position as tribal chief? Either way,
And have
I
them be
personally
listening to
think,
Jay more so.
or have Roman go buck wild, because how is Roman going to react? Like post WrestleMania, I think Cody Rhodes is winning, because post WrestleMania, what do you do? Like Roman Reigns is also poised to take a lot of time off. You can't have Roman Reigns and the world title off
I,
TV for 5 months.
Yes, you
That
can.
can't
that's not
happen.
true.
No, you can't.
Yes, you
You
can.
got
You
Listen,
did it with
no, you
Brock.
can't.
You did
It
it with
ain't.
I'm
Brock.
Nah.
talking about as far as not true as him taking time off. He's
You
booked for like
All right, look.
a
So
show in May.
let's really think about this. You mean to tell me from April to August, you really think the company, when they have a big time pay per view in London, they're not gonna
He's
have a
booked for
world
that
title?
show.
he's Bush.
No, I'm
Yeah, he's
saying
buck.
if Roman's losing, I'm sorry. The
He's
1,000
buck,
day.
man.
What does Roman have in the title? 1,000 days or 950 days? What's really the difference? No one in the
That's a
modern era
huge difference.
You can't say that. You just
close.
said that about fucking
No one
Gunther.
is.
You just said that about Gunther.
What did I just say? What the fuck
When
did
the
I
You said
just
last
say
about
about?
time you
Gunther.
seen a 1,000 day reign?
You did
When
that
the
last
last
time you seen
time
a 1,000 day reign. Yeah,
you
That shit
nah?
hasn't happened in our It's happened in our lifetime.
yeah.
We
But you
haven't
just
got
said about
900-day reigns in our lifetime either. That's like he's already got all these
nah,
records.
bro. You got to
It's
get that
not gonna
money.
make a
Like,
difference.
But see, WWE likes those benchmarks.
yeah, they like those numbers,
They
man.
want they want to get past that. Oh, we had a 900-day raid. Oh, next 1,000. We have a
Yeah.
1,000-day raid. Like they love that type
Matter,
of shit.
let's. You know what? I'm so confident. Let's make a bet.
I
What
ain't making
bet
a.
we gonna do?
I ain't gonna bet
What bet
you,
we gonna
man.
do?
Why you want me to bet you,
No,
bro? I
not
just
Cause
tried to
y'all are
bet you. You
wrong.
ain't
Cause
want
y'all
to
know
do
what's
it.
yeah.
gonna
You
happen.
want to holler at us,
Here's the
dog?
thing. Y'all are going to be wrong. Y'all gonna be
I'm
I'm
telling
okay
you.
wrong.
with being wrong. I'm okay with
Yeah,
being
I am
wrong. But
okay with
I'm
being
just
wrong.
what
You
I
know
just
why I'm
think is
okay
gonna
with being.
happen.
You know why I'm okay with being wrong on this one? Because of the fact that I hate the fact that this match is happening in the first place. So I hate the fact that this match is happening.
Y'all gonna have to get over that. Y'all gonna have to get that hate out
No,
y'all heart for Cody.
it's it
It's
means
no hate for Cody. It's just
it's not.
It seems
It's
it's
like
a
just
y'all
bad
hating on Cody a
it's
little
situation.
not
bit.
hating on
It's
Cody.
not.
I
I'm not
like the
hating on
fact that Cody's
if
there. I just don't like the fact
if
that he's in
if
this match
that
right
was
now.
Seth Rollins in that position and Sami Zayn was if you put
I don't even
anybody
think
in that
Sami Zayn.
spot,
Y'all had the right person who should have been in that position. Not Sami Zayn. Jay Uso should have been in that position. If
We
you
said
argue
that.
with me, no, y'all said
We
Sami
say that
Zayn.
in fucking around
No,
elimination
y'all
chamber. Yeah,
didn't.
we
Y'all said
did.
Sami Zayn. Y'all kept bringing up
Hell,
Sami
I
Zayn.
said
we
Sami Zayn. I don't believe Jay Uso I don't see him as a single
I've been
star.
saying Jay Uso should be the one to beat Roman.
Bruh, we
I've
then
been
we
saying
me
that
and
for
you
at
agreed
least
on
the
that.
last year.
Yeah, I
Like
think that
Jay
Jay Uso
Uso,
should be there.
that's how the bloodline should end. Jay beating Roman. That makes the most, like that thematically makes the most sense for what they doing. But we dealing with what we got right here.
I don't
Cody
think the
Rhodes.
bloodline should end because Roman is not reigning. I think the bloodline should end because of the fact that after it got kind of worn out. But I
I,
don't think that Roman losing should be the end of the bloodline. I think
I
that
don't
you
think
should.
it. I think the end of the bloodline is going to come from Solo. I don't think it's
That's
going
what
to
I
be
say.
Jay at
Yeah, I
all.
feel like
I
Solo
don't
is
think
going to be the
Solo ready.
reason.
I don't
Yeah,
think he's
he's not
ready
ready
to be
right
main
now. That's
event
why I
type
don't think it's
dude.
going to be in right now.
You really
Yeah.
think they can do this for another whole year of
Yeah,
waiting and building up Cody?
easily,
Yes.
I don't think they
easily,
can. I don't think
Yes.
they can.
easily.
Absolutely.
I
You
Keep
think
that
they
still
can
got
do
fucking
this
fire
Legado
year.
del.
going.
Think about what
DX did it.
SmackDown still got. Legado del Fantasma, Imperium, Judgment Day. That's 369. That's 9 months
Yes.
right there.
Solo is
Yes.
going to do like Solo. I think he going on his own to be
Mm.
built up separately, but I think the bloodline
I
is ended.
I think
Then
that's
there's
He
no
when the
needs to
reason
be on
why.
his
bloodline
own for a
ends.
while.
Basically, you got the new DX in the context of like the bloodline, because technically, X Pac was a singles competitor.
DX ended
D
after like a year.
No, man, DX is still existing to this
Um,
day. Don't even put that in that context.
Yes,
Don't even
they
say
did.
that because they as
DX
long as they had
ended.
a Generation X
DX
match.
ended in 1999.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
I see the green shirts and green and black shirts still to this day. Shawn
Everybody
Michaels,
has those dang on shirts.
it don't
Just
matter.
because
DX is a thing still.
So
With
you saying
that,
the NWO, the NWO is still around as a group, an active group?
No, because all of them niggas are probably no, all of them dudes are retired. They're done.
So are all the
But
DX people.
yeah, but they still
The hell is wrong?
was around.
What?
You just had a
Okay.
match like not too long ago with DX, dog. So I'm just saying
No,
you can
that
still
was
do the
like
same
3
thing.
or 4
So
years ago.
again, Bloodline can still be around where Solo Sikoa has his independent run. Just still have Roman Reigns be his independent run, and then you still have the
I don't.
Usos be tag
I
teams.
think
It
it's
still could
ending.
be the same thing. You could still
The
have that
catalyst to
exist.
end the bloodline is gonna be Roman Reigns losing.
Nah,
Because
it's gonna
Roman
be
can't
Solo.
take nobody
No,
being
Jamal.
champ to him.
You know what? I figured it out. You the one that hate to be wrong. When you be
Exactly.
saying this be us.
You be
No,
saying
Damn
you
right.
hate to be
Because I'm
wrong.
damn
right.
no, yeah,
I am
exactly.
right.
That's a wrong
It's
mind.
I
That's a
all
am
wrong
right. I am
mindset to
in
speculation
have.
my rightness.
until
All right,
Sunday.
so we are right at the end of that fucking time. Jamel, man, come on, wrap this show up for us, man.
Well, history and trail are gonna be wrong post Sunday, but that's gonna do it for this edition of this wrestling podcast that we have.
Yes.
We are not gonna mention that Canadian dude again. Until then, Trail, where can people see your material? Where can people find you? Where can people follow you?
FNN_trail on everything, man.
History, what about you?
Man, your uncle, your reverend, your deacon, you can find me wherever you believe that you needs me. That'd be
Nigga,
on
will you be
Discord
specific?
or you see if you listen, you gotta listen to the conversation. You don't be doing that. See, you're hard headed. I keep telling you to listen. So on Discord, you can definitely find us on that under A Narrative Media or my personal channel, which is History W. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter under History W as well as Instagram. Man, y'all stay dope, stay amazing. I appreciate all of y'all over here. And Jamel is definitely fucking wrong. So
Nah, you're
with
wrong.
that, go ahead.
You're
finish
fucking
your-
wrong, history.
All
I'm
right, bro.
telling you, you're incorrect.
Yeah, you're done for this day, bro. With that,
Nah,
by the way,
you're wrong.
man, we gonna end this with a round of applause for history, man, for being right.
Nah, that's a round of applause for history being a wrong ass.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Until
All right,
after
man.
WrestleMania.
Y'all
Make
stay dope,
sure.
stay amazing. We'll see you next pay-per-view, man. Stay dope, stay
Peace.
amazing. Peace.